Hello, my name is JR and this is my first tutorial on how to work with Speed Edit 1.5 from NewTek. I'm just going to wait till this sets up and gets started. I've been using NewTek for the past 3 years now, and I find that it works wonders, and it's very simple and easy to understand. Um, I wasn't video enthusiast before I got this system. Now here is the first splash screen that will be open up to you when you do open Speed Edit. You have different varieties of presets when you want to start a new project. You've got NTSC, DV, 16:9, 720p, 1080i, etc., and you've got all the PAL specifications. You've got the custom here, which you have all the different presets that are custom and used by all video enthusiasts across the world. I'm going to put this 16:9 just for training purposes, and here we go. Just move this here. This is your basic layout on Speed Edit 1.55 from NewTek. Once you start, you'll never get tired of it. In the left corner, we have your File tab. Once you open up the File tab, you have all the different menus, all the basic stuff: New, Open, Save As, Save, Capture, which I'll go into detail later on, Render, and Render Still, which are very useful for you to understand. Aside from that, you've got Import EDL, Export EDL. You got the latest programs that you were working on, actually projects. If I close this, then you have your Windows tab file, Add Media, which is this right here. You have the selected clip properties, which is, this right here. You have the tool shed, which I will explain to you further on. And you have the wave media form, which when you want to color change or make modifications to the brightness, contrast, gamma, whatever colors that you want to change, you can do it with Speed Edit without a problem. You have another form of waveform. Actually, you have 3 kinds of waveform vector scopes, which I'll go into detail. Your color picker. This will be very useful in the background editing and in the lettering. Last but not least, you have your About Speed Edit, which explains to you who's involved in Speed Edit and your basic information that you might need to know. In the output, you have mine is set to none because I do not have the output. I normally burn on DVD, and for training purposes I do not need it, and for what I do not need it either. You have your IEEE 1394 connection, which is standard if you want to your output to be for your to your video camera, and you've got your NewTek in and out video card. This is your main window that you will be looking into when you do want to visualize your project. It's the output window. Basic settings, you can set it to whatever dimensions you need. As you can see, when I move it, the display here moves as well. On your output window, you can adjust the brightness, the contrast, and the volume. This will only affect your output viewing on your computer. It will not affect your viewing once your finished product is done on DVD or on whatever output you decide to work with. Let me just move that over. Like I said, you've got your selected clip properties. It right now is in timeline ripple mode. If I remove it, it's still in timeline ripple mode. Basically, this gives you the information, the basic information that you have on your clip: the offset, the speed, the duration of your clip. Mark in, mark at time where your clip is being played, positioning in time. the end mark, the start. File length, you can lock and unlock your audio video. Overlay or not, we'll get into that later. You can disable your audio and video altogether, and you can reverse your clip. This is your add media. This is where all the business end of your project will be. Let's just say this is your fridge and your cupboard where you take your material that you work with. Let's just say you wanted to take a clip and put it into, let me just try something here. Sorry for the delay. Okay, this isn't it. Okay, as you can see, once I select a clip, I don't even have to press on it. As soon as I go to the clip, where my arrow goes to the clip, it starts running. As you can tell, you can see the time and the length. It starts running right away. So you can basically see a prelude of your clip. If you want to view it in large icons, if you're not too sure, or you're like me, your eyesight is kind of faulty at times, you could probably just have it here. Let's say I select this clip. As you can tell, by pressing my left mouse key, my left mouse button rather, there's an orange, or should I say yellow, lining around the rectangle that I select. I keep pressing the button and I just drag it onto my timeline. Now it's conforming right now because it's a large clip. As you can tell, it's 30 minutes. And once I put it on my timeline, it automatically goes on my storyboard. Now I work with with a split screen, they call it, with two different variables. I like to have my storyboard on top and my timeline on the bottom. Let's say I'd like to have just my timeline. I went a little fast here. Let me do this again. I've got my timeline on the bottom, my storyboard on top. Let's say I want to work with timeline, but just the timeline. I single left click once, and if I double click, there you go. All my timeline is all indicated right here. I personally work with this, but whatever your preference is. Now, since it's confirming, I will take a little bit of time to show you what this clip is all about. That's my son's hockey team, and they're fairly well. That's my intro. It's not very loud, but as you can tell, whatever's playing here, I can see it right here. So it's pretty nifty. And if you want, let me just pause that. If you want to view it in full screen, you double click, not here, not here. You double click in your viewing area on your output. If you double click it, there you go. You see you have it in full screen. Press spacebar and you have your whole project. Press spacebar again, double click it, double click, and it comes back. So there you go. Those are your basic necessities, your basic steps to start video editing with SpeedEdit. Now I could show you any other detailed or any other information, but for now let me just go to basically what your main what the main business end of your clip, or should I say work area, will look like. Like I said, you've got the storyboard, the timeline. I'm sorry if it seems redundant what I'm saying, because I want to make sure you get all the information needed, and I don't want to overstep anything. If I press spreadsheet is basically all the information that's included in your clip. Control tree is where you will modify every aspect of your clip. In your control tree, you have your spline, which I'll go into later. Your positioning. This is your basic positioning. If you want to move it, enlarge it, make it smaller. And you have your master color. This is very convenient when you want to adjust the colors. You have different waveform and vector scopes, which I guess you'll have to fiddle with that and find out exactly what you want to do with it, because I could explain it to you, but it would be very time consuming, and the best way to fiddle with it is try it as you go. Your tree band color, which is basically the same thing but more precise. Instead of just adjusting your master color, you adjust the tree band color, which is offset, the low key ends, the low key colors, mid colors, and the high colors. And once you adjust that, you'll see in your view window on your project that the modifications are very well done. Here you have your eases and outs. If you want to have a smooth transition in your color or a high transition in your color, this is where you would change this. Selective color, that's basically if you work with a chroma key or a luma key, or you can put it off altogether. Your auxiliary is anything that is in the background that does not show immediately, but you want to have it show, let's say on how can I call this, reflections or basic 3Ds or whatnot. This is where you would adjust it. Now, your file bin is where all your basic drives are. Drive C, D, and E are mine, and this is my external drive. So for now, I guess it'll be, I think it's enough for your basic tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're gonna cover all the cuts, all the transitions, all the editing that you need to know, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. Hope this tutorial was not too boring, and I'll try to make the other ones a little bit more interesting. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. See you next time.